The main event of the evening is time!
Hey, you know who it is. A1. And I guess our music is remixed again for the second week in a row, I guess. I'm going to have to take a look at this. Welcome to it. It's almost time. We off a little bit later than normal. I say later than normal, I mean a whole day and later. It's all good, though. We are here. I'm here with my cohort again. Paul will be. Mr. Brad is still out east. He will be returning Midwest side tomorrow, I believe, when we come back for everything else. Yeah, when it comes time to cover this next Sunday's results, he should be back. But how you doing, Mr. Resident Hater?
I'm doing pretty good. Last night, you know, I got some hating to do, but we'll get into that. I did not see it coming. I don't think a lot of people did.
No, I feel you on that. We're gonna kick things off a little different than normal. Usually we start from the bottom and then we get here, as Drake would say. But we're gonna do it a little different because there is a big development in the MMA world and of course on Saturday's card. And when I say a big development, I mean and new middleweight champion Sean Tarzan Strickland. And it was a pretty fucking dominant victory. Like I personally, I had it, and I like Izzy. I was pulling for Izzy, and even in championship fights, I give the champion the benefit of the doubt. I had it 2 rounds apiece going into the 5th round. I think I gave Izzy the 2nd and maybe the 4th, and even that one I was kind of iffy, but I was like, thinking in the judge's eyes, like I could see crazy judging going and favoring Izzy for round 4, but it was unanimous across the board, 49-46 victory, 4 rounds to 1 for the challenger, and I can see why. It was. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Again,
I saw some people catch some pretty big bets on it, but those are people who bet with their balls and not their brains. You know what I'm saying? They're like, he's my guy, I'm betting.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
and anytime like the UFC gives you a odd like that, I always put a little bit of under money on the underside just in case.
Right?
And
Little
it
hedge.
didn't work out for me because I should have just rode the money line, but I picked TKO because I figured that was the only way Strickland had a shot. I was like, there's no way there's this dude's gonna ink out a decision over the last style better. I didn't see it happening.
Right.
Only person that really did see this happening or gave him any benefit was Poatan. Pereira has been training a lot with Strickland in the recent past, and I actually want to probably credit Pereira for Sean's performance here. I think he helped him tighten up his game a lot, showed him what he was doing wrong, and I think he even showed him the stuff that he was doing good, how he could do it better. I think he taught him kind of how to sit down on his punches a little bit more because the way we had it was about like 20-30 seconds left in that first round when he just threw a simple 1-2, but that second shot had some fucking sting on it and clipped him perfectly. And Izzy was in the middle of trying to counter, got popped, dropped, and then bombarded with about another 20-25 shots. Funny thing about this as well is that Mark Goddard was the referee reffing this fight. He was also the ref in charge of Aljo and O'Malley. And people are like, oh, that should have been stopped in the first round. Like, if you're going on Goddard standards. And I'm like, I get why it was different. What was different about it is he got dropped, but got back up. Even as he was being punched, he got back up to his feet, covering up, and again was intelligently defending himself way better than Aljo was. Aljo actually at one point when O'Malley was fucking him up, O'Malley had one of his feet, just literally had his foot with his left hand and was throwing hammer fists, so he couldn't roll. He couldn't do shit but sit there and get popped. That's why he ate the first 2 or 3 of them as hard as he did. Is he had Sterling's foot.
And I
But
definitely, I don't know, as someone who watched both, I definitely felt like just I don't know the numbers or anything, but it felt like Aljo ate more shots.
and he may have. It wasn't by much though, because the amount of shots that Strickland put on in a short time period
I guess
was crazy.
significant
I
shots.
think what the difference was though too is it was the same shot, like it was that rabbit punch left as he was
Yeah.
down and trying to get up. Strickland swarmed him and was popping him with these little short shots, whereas the O'Malley shots were
Yeah.
hammerfish shots coming like from way the fuck over his head and raining down on him. Um, but that basically changed the complexion of the whole fight. I think the remainder of the fight, the next 20 minutes, Izzy looked timid. There's a statistic that says that he landed the lowest amount, like, yeah, percentage wise, this is the worst fight that Izzy's had as far as landing strikes. It was his lowest percentage for landed strikes. Just this is like Sean made him look pedestrian. And
Right.
Strickland actually, even in his post-fight interview, I don't remember who he was talking to, if it was a Levy or who it was for sure. But he goes, "Man, there's points that I was fighting him, and I was like, bro, am I in here with an amateur?
Yeah,
This
I
is
saw
Izzy.
that.
This is fucking the lad. This is Israel Adesanya. Why? Like, how is this so easy?" And throughout the rest of that fight, like the first round was obviously the biggest round for Sean, but he had moments in he had moments in the second round, in the round that Izzy won. Sean still
Right.
had his moments, but the rest of that fight, rounds 3, 4, and 5, it was Sean's fight. And every time he touched or every time he touched Izzy, it wasn't even power shots. Anytime he touched him with anything, Izzy was reacting, and it looked like he was buckling. I don't know if there was something in Izzy's camp leading up. Like it just Adesanya did not seem like normal Izzy, uh,
Right.
as what we're used to seeing him look like, anyways. Um, and also, I'm glad I went on record on Thursday about kind of walking back my GOAT claim with Izzy, because he has now lost 2 of his last 3, and really long term has only won 4 of his last 7. One of them was at light heavyweight, but still, nonetheless, 4
Right.
yeah, 4 and 3 in his last 7. And I think even one of them was I think the Cannoneer fight, which people weren't too impressed with. So there it just it
It's a shallow division.
well, and it just I kind of like it happening. As much as I fuck with Izzy, I like what it's doing for the division. That like this Hamzat and Costa fight now has so much more implications. Duplessis dropped the fucking ball, if you ask me, because I think Duplessis could have gone in there injured and probably finished Izzy the way he's been fighting and the way that fight just went.
Yeah. Good luck getting your title shot now,
Well,
DDP.
no, and Dana White's mad at him. You know how Dana White feels about people ducking or turning down fights.
Right. Regardless of the reason, even if it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no, even if it's a legitimate hey, bro, my mom died. Hey, that's cool, but like, don't come to me for a title shot for another 2 years, dude.
Right.
Like, unless your name is Colby Covington and you got the boss's balls in a vice because he doesn't want you to fucking press charges on his buddy, then you might get some shit worked out and you don't even have to fight for 2 years.
Right.
But I've digressed. Nonetheless, congratulations, Sean Strickland. I gotta say, tip my hat that I'm not wearing to you. I kind of wish I had the Crocodile Dundee hat, because I'd be rocking it with you right now. Like you went to hostile territory. You made them love you, because he was getting pops anytime he was talking and just doing anything down there. People were fucking with Strickland.
Right.
And you shocked the world. I
So
think
I found out
Sydney,
apparently.
Australia is now the home of the upset too, because Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm happened there.
Damn.
There's been a couple big upsets. I think if I'm a top 10 fighter and they offer me to fight in Sydney, I'm just nope.
So apparently there's like animosity between people in Australia and New
I'm scared
Zealand,
of
and I didn't
flying.
know about that till today. Oh shit, what?
Yeah, no, I glitched out for a second. What is
Got you.
happening
Yeah, we're
here?
good.
All right. I'm still kind of glitched, but there we go. There we
Yeah, we're
go.
good. We're good.
But what did you say about Australia and New Zealand?
They have like beef. They don't like each other. That's why they were going for Strickland and not for Izzy, because like people from Australia don't like New Zealanders. Apparently, there's like
I
beef.
didn't know that.
Me either. I heard about it on the MMA hour today from Casey O'Neill. I think is that her name from Australia or New Zealand? She's from some chick from there. She was talking about how the Australians always love it when New Zealanders fail and shit. Are you frozen? Uh-oh. All right. So, yeah. Sean Strickland is champion now. Crazy. My boy A1 dropped out for a minute, so he'll probably be back in just a moment, I think. It shouldn't take too long. But intermission, actually, because I'm not going to be able to carry this. Dun, 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 dun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's
Almost.
time! Ladies and gentlemen,
All right.
this is
Back
the
at
main event.
Man, that was Are we good? Can you understand me?
Yep, it's all good. We're back, baby.
All right. So yeah, no, that was a first for me. I get some choppy Wi-Fi out here occasionally. Usually, it's been all right on my laptop. Usually, it's just with my PlayStation. I usually have to hardwire in.
Gotcha.
But no, yeah, I didn't realize that there was beef between Australia and New Zealand. I'd also like to go on and correct myself. I guess when I was writing the description out for last week's episode, I said it was happening in New Zealand, and it was Australia. I don't know why my high ass is like, yep, New Zealand sound about right.
Nah,
But,
dude.
yeah,
Aussies, Kiwis.
and now they probably mad at me, both of them. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
I didn't
how
think of
dare
that.
you fucking think that I was part of them and they're part of us? Like, no, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't realize he was beefing. I really don't even know whose side to take, man, because I fuck with a lot of New Zealand fighters and I fuck with a lot of Australian fighters, and some of them fuck with each other, but
Right?
I guess the countries just don't fuck with each other. But yeah, no, like I said, congrats, Sean Strickland. I'm interested to see kind of how the middleweight division plays out now moving forward. Dana's already been on record saying he thinks they need to run it back just because of Izzy being who Izzy is. But there's a lot of people who disagree, especially if you're not letting Sterling have that rematch. Why the fuck does Izzy deserve it?
Yeah.
But I think if Strickland is smart, he realizes that that's the real money fight. And personally, I mean, if Strickland can fight that way again, he's, he could, not only make a good payday, but basically, yeah, stay and still, and then basically get a shot at whoever he wants, whether it be Hamzat, Costa, Duplessis, Whitaker. I mean, there's a lot of there's more options as far as ways you can cut it for Strickland.
Right.
So it's interesting, but yeah, this definitely puts a little bit of a wrench in GOAT talk and then just legacy talk for Izzy's sake. And I'm sure he'll be back. He might make some adjustments, and who knows? Maybe they run it back again, and he sleeps Strickland.
Or
Maybe
imagine,
performance.
or sort of on the flip side, imagine fucking Sean Strickland all of a sudden just becomes like undefeated for the next like 5 years or something. And
Yeah, no, maybe he hit his stride and legit.
Yeah, maybe Sean Strickland's the GOAT. We're just seeing the beginning of it.
That dude, and then this is like for as crazy as this shit is, this is why I fucking love the sport.
Right. Who would have put money on Sean Strickland being champ when fucking Pineda knocked him out in the first round? You know what I'm saying? What was that, like a year ago?
Yeah, well, and the shit that also scares me though is that there's been a meme going around beginning of the summer. It said basically, can you imagine that these three could be new UFC champions by the end of the year? And it was Sean O'Malley, Sean Strickland, and Colby Covington.
Yikes!
And I don't even need to finish that. I'm not gonna say anything more. Like we just. But yeah, no, I guess this being the main event, and I guess that the biggest focus is kind of why I wanted to touch on this real quick. But this was also part of our
parlay, boys,
and it was the third leg of it. It was your pick, and it wasn't a bad pick. It really wasn't a bad pick.
Oh fuck!
You picked the safe bet, the safest bet on the card, probably the biggest betting favorite, and that's what broke the parlay, unfortunately.
Just goes to show you can't always count on Vegas.
No, you really can't. And again, especially in something like a fight, like a fist fight.
Right.
Nah, there's too many variables that goes into it. Like, and again, with Sean Strickland being a number 5 ranked, or was number 5 ranked, he's number C ranked now.
Right.
There's no way, there's no reason any number 5 ranked person should be that big of a underdog going into a title fight. But we had that same, I think Juliana Pena was like ranked number 2 or number 3 when she went in to fight Nunez and was a plus 800 straight money line dog and went and shocked the world. But I've got an inkling suspicion that maybe Nunez had a family member somewhere, put some money on the underside and was like, yep, here, go buy a city now. Like, for real. But what was the other part? Okay, we had. I'm trying to remember who I had. Refresh my memory. What was my parlay pick?
If I remember correctly, it was Tuivasa by TKO.
Okay, was it?
I don't know for sure. I could pull it up real quick.
There's no way.
Let me pull up the old DK real quick. My personal parlay almost hit, the one I posted in chat. Man, I would have been so happy if that one hit. Fucking is.
And in any other universe, it would have hit.
And I'm not even gonna lie, bro. When I sent that in chat, you know how I told you my phone's all fucked up? I meant to pick money line on that under 1.5, and my phone clicked the wrong thing, and I didn't even realize it added the wrong bet to the parlay, and it still hit.
Oh man, well you got lucky because if it would have picked what you wanted it to,
it still would have hit. I picked the right guy. I just didn't. I tried to pick money line on a guy, and I accidentally clicked under 1.5. I guess.
Gotcha. I want to say I picked flipping Tafa, but maybe that was.
Oh yeah, maybe you did. Maybe he did. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think he did because he was like the Mario Brothers. That's like his thing.
Yep, he picked Tafa.
Oh my god, my phone's being. Did I
really pick Tuivasa?
Maybe not. I'm pulling it up on my computer. Because my phone's being stupid.
But yeah, well, since Tafa was one of the parlays.
Parlay boys.
And Dre had him by KO, and yeah, he
Yeah.
delivered.
We had Justin Tafa by
one
TKO, tied to Ivasa by TKO, and Israel Adesanya.
Man, what was I smoking?
I don't know, bro, but I had Volkov in my personal parlay.
I think my logic was as I think I knew Volkov was gonna win, but we was in Australia, so I had to go. I had to go with Tuivasa.
No, I feel that. You know, had a few too many shoeys.
Yeah, I said I wanted to do a shoey, which I wouldn't have even done, but yeah.
And honestly, you can hardly ever really go wrong with the TKO bet and fucking heavyweight because someone's everyone has knockout power.
I mean, if you're talking within the top 15, yes. Anything outside of that, man, I've seen too many of these up and comers, and it's because UFC is getting desperate right now and really signing any kind of heavyweight with any kind of potential. I'm seeing a lot of these guys, their first couple fights, like literally riding decisions until they kind of get their feet about them and figure it out. Dustin Jacoby actually kind of got on a little streak of a decision. Yeah, a little bit of a decision streak, and then actually took a couple L's in the process. And I think, at least if his last fight's any indication, I feel like he's probably back on the right path, though, of trying to get finishes because he came out really aggressive, got the drop, and got the TKO. Also, with the Justin Tafa fight, he got his performance of the night. He got the 50K. He didn't get the last time that he knocked somebody out. Somebody actually in the post-fight press conference asked Dana White if you thought about revamping it, if you thought about doing like a, just instead of just picking, this performance or this finish to give 50K, have you considered changing it from a performance of the night to a stoppage bonus? And Dana goes, nah, I think I like the way we're doing it now. Of course you do, you cheap ass. Like, fuck.
He wants people to go for it.
No, I get it, but like, I feel like if it's a good stoppage, like you legit separate somebody from their senses, you should get 50K.
I agree, but
let them do the thing. And from the sound of it, though, too, there's especially this year, he says, yeah, we name what we give fight of the night. We'll name performance bonuses, but a lot of what you don't hear is the extra money we're kicking back anyways to people that we're not naming. Like there are people that have great bonuses and we get them right on the other end. You just don't hear about it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of money that fighters get depending on their personal situation that doesn't go down on the books. Like if they get short notice, they get taken care of. If they do a UFC a favor somehow,
Oh yeah, well, just the same. Like I guarantee you that the fighters that are more inept to do media for them and do events for them, and like interviews and stuff, I guarantee you that they're on a short list of fighters that get a better treatment.
They love guys like Colby, they love guys like Sean O'Malley, guys that say shit where people either love it or hate it. They love that shit. They feel like those guys are their partners because they're doing their part in the promotion, so they in turn kick more into them.
Yep, and I agree with it. Like, because there are certain people that do more for the company and for the name and building the sport. And right now, like a lot of people are hating O'Malley, like, oh, I don't like him. He's too colorful. He's too vibrant. Bro, this motherfucker puts eyes on the sport, though. Puts eyes on the company. Puts green in the company. So of course they're going to be riding with them. But like as I said last week, and I'll parrot it again, you can be Dana White's pet or Dana White privilege, but it's up to you what you do once you have that privilege. Like if you go out there and shit it up, bro, you're not gonna get anywhere with it. It's about you have to be able to come through when it's time to perform, and some of these fighters are good at doing that.
Some of them think Dana's their friend probably, and they get horribly disappointed.
Let me take a quick look and just talk about so yeah, I guess we'll also cover my parlay here right quick.
Parlay boys.
Which was Tai Tuivasa versus Drago or Alexander Volkov. Volkov actually got, I think, the 3rd or the 4th ever Ezekiel choke in the UFC. So
Hell
was
yeah.
pretty impressed with that, and it just didn't look very fair for Ty. Like, what did Ty do to piss off the UFC that they're giving him these Goliaths of fucking opponents? Like, both
That might be
Ciro,
those bonuses that they're talking about. You know, he might be doing them favors. They come to him. He says yes, no questions. Maybe they're taking good care of him.
by making him fight fucking Goliath.
No, I mean monetarily wise. Maybe he's fighting whoever they want, so they're kicking him big paychecks. You know
It
what I
could
mean?
be that, and it could be that's just again who was on the radar at the time. Like,
That's
and
true.
I'll
Yeah.
give Ty credit; he'll fight anybody that they want him to fight. He is a company guy. The fans love him, not just in Australia, not just in New Zealand, but like we love
Shoeies,
him here in America. Yeah, bro, dude drinks beer from a shoe.
spits
What
in it.
more do you have to say? Um,
Mm,
but
I was all
yeah,
in until I
after
saw the spit.
so that was our parlay, and I guess so. No, I fucked our parlay up before you did, so I'll take credit for it. As always, our man in charge of the action, usually Cornbread, was spot on with this pick. So I guess we got some more work we got to do over here to
He
catch up.
has been on point for a hot minute, honestly.
No, I don't remember the last time he was off, but it's been on, and he's been on so much it makes me want to hate him. So if you watching Cornbread, I'm coming for you. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No, we're getting serious with the parlay picks over here. So let's go. No,
I like that. That was like a little wrestling promo right there.
Booker T over here, didn't you?
I
And if
was-
you did, you're racist. No.
That was a good little wrestling promo. I like that.
I'm gonna try to get a little bit more animated on the show, man. I appreciate everybody who fucks with us and tunes in. I think I see one eyeball up there right now. Maybe one day it'll be 100, maybe it'll be 1,000. I don't know. I just do this shit because I fucking love talking about it. I've been passionate about the sport for a very long time. And I'm glad that we connect. I'm glad you threw that post out earlier this year. Like, I want to do a fight podcast. And I said, hey, me too. And here we are. We're what, 6 months, almost 7 months in, and we're
Doing
just
it.
riding with it. We've got, I think, 2 more episodes actually coming up, and then we're gonna be off. It looks like for about a month. We might hop in between and just talk some shit if I'm feeling froggy. I'm a leap. But yeah, the what is it? The Shevchenko fight coming up, and then September 23rd, there's another fight night. And then after that, I think it's the Fiziev fight night. And then after that, yeah, there's not a card until the Abu Dhabi card.
Damn.
Yeah, we have Fiziev versus Gamrot. And we actually, there's going to be some decent fights. There actually, it looks like they've actually finally filled it out. You got Muhammad Usman on the undercard.
Ooh.
Or no, they're not even saying what the undercard is yet. They're just all lumped under one. But yeah, you got the co-main event. It looks like is going to be Bryce Mitchell and Dan Ige, and then main event Rafael Fiziev and Gamrot. And then after that, we've got basically a month until the Abu Dhabi pay-per-view, and nothing on the UFC's website as fights in between then. So we'll keep y'all posted as far as what happens with that. And then again, if it's a month, it might give me a chance to buckle down and get some stuff done to present to y'all long term as far as production value and then just shit I would like to give y'all. I just haven't given myself, or I've made the time, I should say, because I've had some time. I haven't utilized it properly. So we'll get on that. Anyways, back to UFC 293. I feel like we've kind of been all over the place because it's been a little bit different of a presentation. You know, we haven't started from the bottom and gone to the top. I'm going to go ahead and try to touch on the rest of the performance of the nights. Actually, Sean Strickland got performance of the night for his victory over Izzy. Well-deserved because, again, nobody saw that coming. One of my favorite fights of the night, and I fucking loved how this one went, was the Manal Cop versus Felipe Dos Santos. Man, nobody saw that one coming. This dude, Felipe
Him on the
Dos
mic.
Santos,
He went
2
crazy
weeks
on the
ago.
mic.
Yeah, well, and 2 weeks ago, Felipe was on the Contender Series. Just got himself a UFC contract on the Contender Series. Kai Kara France was Manel Kape's original opponent. He backed out with an injury, which I find ironic, and I'll get to in a second. But Felipe Dos Santos stepped up on 2 weeks' notice. Dude from Contender Series stepped in and fought number 10 ranked flyweight. Yep, flyweight, and took him to a decision. Took him to a decision, and now was on record saying he's gonna make this look easy, and like he appreciates the guy stepping up, but there's levels to this, and this dude's just got absolutely nothing for him. This dude made it a fight. The judges, I think, at the end of it had it, I think, unanimous 30-27, and I think maybe 129-28. But that was one of the fights that the scorecard, I think, didn't do justice how close and how much of a fucking fight Dos Santos made this, especially debut fight, came in off of the Contender Series and held his own, the number 10 ranked flyweight. If this dude does not have a number next to his name by tomorrow afternoon, I don't know what the fuck they're smoking in the UFC, but give me some, as long as it's not like crack or meth or like that. If it's some good sticky icky, yes, send it my way. But man, this dude showed up and showed out. Was a win even with the loss, because he showed that he belongs. He fucking belongs. And yeah, I ain't got nothing but praise to say. Another notice, I guess honorable mention as far as before we kind of go down the card, Jack Jenkins versus Shepe Mariscal. First round of that fight was looking really decent for Jenkins, and Mariscal was doing his thing as well, but Jenkins looked like he looked like he was doing his thing. He was going to kind of coast, probably going to point out a decision. But mid-round in round 2, Mariscal went to do basically like a judo throw. And as he threw him and got his momentum going, Jenkins, the way he was going, naturally just tried to brace or put his hands out to brace for the impact, stop the move, and dislocated his elbow. Yeah, it was pretty fucking bad, and a couple shots, and then the ref stopped it because Jenkins was verbally tapping. He's like, "No, my arm's fucked." So Mariscal actually got a TKO victory over Jack Jenkins. You know, we all love Jenkins here at It's Almost Time. But sometimes shit like this happens and you can't really predict it. I hope that it's nothing too serious. From the sounds of it, it wasn't a break. It was just a dislocation. I could be wrong though. I haven't completely like done my homework or checked up on it. But yeah, I got to give credit to Shepe Mariscal because he changed the momentum and ended the fight on a toss.
He went crazy on the mic. Did you hear all the shit he said?
Was that where? Are you sure that was that? I think you're thinking of because I think I know who you're talking about. That was a little bit further down on the card. I think that was Charles Radke. Because yeah, Charles Radke versus Blood Diamond. Radke got a decision win, and he decided that he was gonna call all of the Australian fans in the seats.
No, it was Manel Kape. Manel Kape did too. He was calling
no. Manel Kape. That was directed at Kai Kara France.
Oh, I know. He said some crazy shit though. He said, "I'm gonna come."
Oh, he dropped the F-bomb too. No, UFC 293's PR teams was shitting their pants the whole time, so they had 2 different fighters drop the F word, and I don't mean fuck.
Right.
But yeah, no, Manel's reason for saying what he said, other than that word, was I think pretty fucking justified, because Kai Kara France about 2 weeks ago pulled out of the fight with an injury. If you know if you know the rankings in the flyweight division, you know Kai Kara France is, I think, number 4. He's top 5 ranked. Manel Kape is number 10 ranked. So obviously there's a lot on the line in that fight.
Right.
And with Kai Kara France backing out, I think the irony about it is that Kara France is part of City Kickboxing, is part of Izzy's team, right?
Okay.
Izzy has been on record for the past however long since this Duplessis shit went down, and Duplessis turned down the fight, saying that he's injured and he wanted to heal up before taking on Izzy. Izzy been shitting all over him, like, no, you take the shot when you get the shot. Now I don't even know if I'm gonna give you the shot. Period. You know, like was kind of being cocky about the shit. But then his own teammate backs out of a fight in 2 weeks' notice. And Manel let it be known, like, I think you're a bitch. I think you're ducking me. I don't think you're injured. And I kind of get why he's thinking that because, dude,
Right.
you showed up. You're obviously in the building where you're supposed to be fighting, but you're sitting in the crowd, bro. Like, if you're that injured, I want the fucking showed up. That's the type of mentality I think you got to have as a fighter. Like, if I can make it to that building, I'm fucking fighting you. So, like, bro, like, whatever injury you're dealing with, it couldn't have been that hardcore that you're sitting there and you're yelling and talking shit, bro. Like, if it's that serious, you wouldn't have been there. And if the shit talking was that serious, you would have been in the fucking cage. So it sounds like they're trying to reschedule that. I don't know when, but hopefully that's Cobb's next fight is still, Carl France, because I think there's some bad blood there now and they can sell that.
Right.
And yeah, no, it I get, yeah, there was some bad noise there, but then also the Blood Diamond and Charles Radke fight. Radke won his fight. It was unanimous decision. There he had his moments, and Blood Diamond, I feel like the only reason he's even in the UFC is because of who he trains with. He trains with Izzy. This dude's still, like, not saying that he couldn't end up belonging there. I don't see it yet though. I feel like he needs to go fight some more fights.
Do you know what his record is?
What's that?
Do you know what his record is?
Isn't it like 3-3 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because no, he was 3-2 going into that fight, and Radke beat him in a decision. And don't get me wrong, Blood Diamond looked better than I've ever seen him look in the UFC. Like, even takedown wise, he's been working, but I just don't.
He hasn't won since he's been in the UFC. He's lost every fight since he's left little tiny promotions.
Yep.
What the hell? Yeah, they should cut this guy.
And they might after this. But yeah, no, Radke won a decision. First prelim of the night, Jousset versus Crosby. That was actually a decent fight, and Jousset ended up getting a win via submission, I think it was. Yeah, actually closer towards the end of the first round, and there wasn't anything Crosby could do about it. Actually, I had picked Crosby as one of my dog picks, and was not very happy with that. All in all, like, that Izzy bet fucked me up. And then there was a couple others, like I picked a couple that just, like the cop fight, the odds were so skewed in one direction. Like, I think I picked Cop to win by KO in the first round, and that didn't happen. Now they went to a decision. There was just a lot of things that happened that I didn't expect. I didn't completely lose because there was a couple I picked, not only the round but the method. Like the top fight, I picked first round KO, got that. I even one that I did really good on was the Tyson Pedro fight, the first fight of the main card. I was thinking decision the whole time up until they were introducing them, and they flashed a graphic that said out of Tyson's 9 fights in the UFC, he had 5 knockouts and 4 subs, 100% finish rate in his wins.
Damn.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, I didn't realize that. I'm changing this. So I cashed out the decision bet on Pedro and picked KO and was happy I did because he showed up and showed out. I think it also might have had something to do with the fact that he was in his home country, around his home fans and stuff. So he was extra motivated.
Right.
There it goes. It's like, man, my phone's not charging. Well, on another note, what was the other prelim? I know, yeah, we already talked Blood Diamond lost to Radke. Shane Young versus Gabriel Miranda. Young actually missed weight by like 3.5 pounds. He 149.5 pounds to Miranda's 145 even. Betting lines actually had Young as the favorite. I saw when he didn't make weight. I was like, oh, there's a red flag. And sure enough, yeah, Miranda pulled out a submission victory. Looks good with his little twist mustache and stuff. Last person I saw in the octagon with a twist style mustache was Eddie Wineland, and that didn't go very well for him. No, he went.
Yep. Boom. You just fell straight back.
But then after he was on his back, his other arm came out like, oh, like he finally threw his punch, bro. It was one of the craziest stiff jobs I've seen.
Yeah, that guy got fucked up.
Yeah,
Shout out to the champ.
It was not very good. It was not very good at all. We also had a decent fight between Nasrat Haqparast and Landon Quinones. And I'm so proud of myself, man. I've seen that last name spelled like Quinones's is. Seen that so many times in my line of work and never knew how to pronounce it. And I learned how to do it this week.
What is it
and
now?
I know it now. Quinones.
Quinones.
Okay. So that QUI is just like that UI like that, and with the Q, it's just like key. Quinones. So yeah. Nice, fun, random speech lesson there here at It's Almost Time from A1 himself. Now I don't even.
I gotta refill my water bottle. I'll be right back.
Hey, do your thing. Let me see here. The only fight I personally did not get to see this Saturday was one of the prelims. It was the Jamie Mullarkey and John Makdessi fight. For y'all that don't know, we watch sometimes the prelims here wherever I'm stationed at, and then if my pops wants to watch the fight, we'll take the show over there and pull the app out and stream over there. So we watched the majority of the prelims actually, and then the Mullarkey fight was the one fight we were in transit from one spot to another to watch the rest of the fights. Mullarkey ended up getting a unanimous decision. When I was doing my homework for my bets, that was kind of the popular, I guess, opinion was that he was probably going to get a decision. I figured Mullarkey, being Australian, was going to show out for the crowd. I picked him by KO. Didn't hit. He still got the dub. So, I guess win for him. Another honorable mention, Carlos Ulberg versus Daewoo Jung. Jung is a very big South Korean fighter, one of the biggest South Koreans. And when I say big, not name-wise, but size-wise, this dude's a light heavyweight and has been decent actually in the UFC. But Ulberg is on another level. He's been on a tear lately. I want to say, what was he on The Ultimate Fighter originally? And has been doing decent since he got on. But Ulberg actually, as far as most of the fighters on the card, he was like the most consistent across the board with people making picks that Ulberg was their lock. Like that was the one fight that if you were going to put money on or add to a parlay, that was the one that was not going to go wrong, was putting that money line on Ulberg. And he showed out. He actually showed a new wrinkle to his game with a submission over Jung. I think it was a little bit of a club and sub situation, got him hurt, and then took advantage and pulled off the sub, but looked impressive nonetheless. Let me see here. Tyson Pedro with the KO win over Anton Turkalj, the Pleasure Man. I fucking hate that dude's nickname.
That's so terrible. I agree, bro. The Pleasure Man. What a stupid ass name,
to something way cooler sounding in Swedish. I don't fucking know, but bro, you got to do something about your name if you want to stick around in the UFC.
It just made us talk about him though. So
it made us talk about how fucking corny this shit sounds though. And I'm not even the hater. I'm usually the one that's chill, but like, nah, dude, get out of here. Pleasure Man, bro. That sounds like a 1987 fucking villain's nickname.
It's like fucking Ron Jeremy out there.
Like, bro, was that one of Rocky Balboa's opponents at some point? Nah. That covers it, or that was a wrap for UFC 293. Any final thoughts on that card before we look ahead?
Did you see? It's not really related to that card, but it's just on my mind before I forget about it. Did you see that dude who broke his leg right above his knee?
Yeah, I didn't even want to see that, but I saw it.
Bad.
Yeah, no, that's one of the downsides to being a fan of the sport is occasionally, like every year or so, at least once a year, lately anyways, you'll get one of them injuries that it's like I'm not a big fan of seeing bones break.
Oh man.
Never have been. I remember
Right.
it was like the late 90s or early 2000s. I don't remember when it happened. I was a kid, so it probably was like the late 90s. I kind of just dated myself for all y'all out there. Don't fucking hate on me too hard. With the receding hair and shit. No. um, yeah, no, it was. I think it was a Redskins player, and yeah, that's another thing that dates it because they was still the Redskins. And they was playing, and I watched dude get tackled, and his kneecap bent the complete wrong way, and it was horrible. But seen a handful of these in the sport as well. We saw the Anderson Silva leg break on Weidman. You saw then full circle the Weidman doing the shit too, like on
Right.
Uriah Hall, was it?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, then you also talk about Conor McGregor and his ankle snapping on the third Poirier fight.
Right.
It's just occasionally you get these really bad injuries, and actually there was one like that too. There was a submission dude's like arm or shoulder dislocated, but then he got stuck in a triangle, and as he's stuck in a
Oh
triangle,
yeah, I
he was
remember
throwing
that.
fucking elbows, and his arm is just going.
Yeah, his
Like,
arms
oh,
broke.
I was like, no, like losing my shit as it's happening. But like,
he's getting his shit pounded in while he's unconscious
yeah,
and his
and
arms dislocated.
like helicoptering, and I'm like, your arm's not supposed to do that. No,
This
stop
guy-
this. Like, ref, what are you like? You can't tell by looking at his arm that something's fucked up. But
He's like trying to shake it to see if he's still awake, and it's like flapping at
it's
the
like,
other end.
bro, I don't even know if that's still attached. Like, but yeah, no, like, occasionally you'll see some, and yeah, there was one that happened in the MMA world. It wasn't UFC, but it was a different promotion, dude. What did he go to throw a kick or something?
No, he was getting taken down, and the guy he just tried to like land. He just landed funny on a takedown. Oh my god, I just watched it. It broke above his knee, so it broke on one of his like upper bones.
Like his femur?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, and that's probably like 4 to 6 month recovery time just for the bone to heal. That's not even counting, physical therapy.
Right, that shit's gnarly.
It's very gnarly. I'm actually going to change the subject and talk about the fight night next weekend just so I can stop thinking about it. And we got a free fight next weekend, and again, I've been harping on how brilliant of a marketing strategy this is for the UFC to offer this fight up on a platter for free, because you've got two of the best flyweight women running it back. This first fight between them was competitive as fuck. And if you think that women don't have a spot or don't belong fighting, don't have a spot in the UFC, watch the fight this Saturday. I promise you will probably change your outlook. If this goes how it should go, this is going to be a fucking banger. And let me check the lines right now. Actually, Shevchenko is a minus 155 favorite going in. Grasso's a plus 130 dog, which I think I'll have to double check, but that was fairly similar to the odds in the first fight. Shevchenko was favored to win, and we all know how it turned out because Grasso's holding that gold. Also, I guess they're presenting Grasso a new belt at this fight night. The country of Mexico actually had one custom made with certain colors and stuff to present to her. Makes me wonder, like, what are they going to do if she loses? So, like, does Shevchenko get the belt then? I don't know. But I thought that was kind of dope. Co-main event, though, is going to be a banger as well. Mr. Riverside, Kevin Holland, taking on Jack Della Maddalena. And this is actually, they've got this as a pick'em fight. Both minus, Holland's light favorite at minus 118, and Maddalena is a minus 102.
Man.
So I don't know how, because there are levels to this, and Holland I think is on a different level than Jack Della Maddalena. And that's not even saying anything bad against Jack, because Jack knows what he's doing. But if this goes to the ground, it's fucking over for Madalena. In my opinion, I could be wrong though too. Like we
Right.
just might not have seen enough of Jack to really be able to make a educated guess. But I'm gonna be rolling with my boy, Mr. fucking Riverside, anyways, and I'm gonna call it now. This is my parlay pick. Give me
Oh,
the
hell
money
yeah.
line, Kevin Holland.
Check.
But it's not. But you gotta make it official.
Oh, there we go.
Parlay boys.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Kevin Holland money line. I don't even know what the Trash Pandacoot is gonna pick. I meant to ask him in my text.
Oh, you know who he's gonna pick? Are you kidding me? Look at the card.
Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind. I spoke too soon. Let me go ahead and lock in Mr. Trash Panda's pick, and I'm just gonna go money line because I don't know how crazy he will get with it. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but we're gonna go money line for the Trash Panda on Raul Rosas Jr. for our.
Parlay boys.
So yep, and then I'm gonna leave this last one on you, I guess.
Man, this is you picked Kevin Holland, right?
Yeah, I picked the money line on Holland.
Okay.
So why don't you pick on that main event?
It's such a hard pick, honestly.
It really is, but I mean, really, no matter how you cut this, even if this breaks the parlay, there's not a bad pick in it. I can understand your logic in picking either one.
I just need to let me look at some statistics real quick. Where the fuck is UFC? I don't know how to navigate the PC version of this.
And I mean, if you want to take the Holland pick, I'll.
Oh no, we got this. Okay, damn, the odds are pretty close on this fight as well.
Bro, I'm telling you, Shevchenko's the slight favorite, but she was the favorite in the last fight, and Grasso pulled it out.
I'm gonna have to lock in Valentina Shevchenko. You know what? Oh man, this is tough. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with money line. I was gonna take it a step further, but I'm just gonna ride with money line. Shevchenko money line.
Let's ride straight money line. That way, yeah. That way you can still be mad when you lose. No.
Yep.
Man, and speaking of money line and parlay picks and all of that, I'm a seal it with a dab right here. What you be smoking on over there lately?
I don't remember what it's called.
I've got some Afghani orange, and I've got some Bubba Zanetti.
Nice, sounds fancy.
Yeah, no, it's some Bedford Grow strains.
Bro.
What is it? Bedford? Okay.
My buddy that I worked with used to work at Bedford Grow.
Now I fuck with Bedford, and like one thing I like about them, if you don't know, they're female owned and operated.
That's cool.
And locally grown, obviously. Lula's brand is actually a sister company of them as well. So a lot of the strains that you get from Lula's, same strains that they're working with at Bedford. Just at a discount.
That's cool. We got a ton of new strains at Ascend now.
Do they?
Yeah, we got a ton we're pushing out, but I don't think I could say a whole lot technically legally on this platform publicly.
Well, let's not chance it. But yeah, no, this upcoming weekend, a decent fight card, and then like I said, after that, the only other thing on the itinerary, at least for the month of September, is Fizzy versus Gamrot, and that is on September 23rd in Las Vegas. Actually, these next two cards are both in Vegas, and then there's going to be about a month-long interlude in between fights. Who knows? Maybe they'll announce something small. I feel like though, if they had anything even in the pipeline, it would already be on the site. So I have a
Right.
feeling we're actually going to have about a full month that we don't have any fights here, which is really
Probably.
weird for how active the UFC has been. I mean, maybe it's the end of their quarter or the end of their fiscal year. They're like, hey, we're just going to do a hard reset right here, quick pause, and we're going to kick things off hardcore in Abu Dhabi because that card is going to be a fucking banger. You got Makhachev versus Oliveira too. You also got, I think, one of the most anticipated fights at middleweight right now, and that's Hamzat versus Costa. I think people are just ready to see fucking Hamzat fight again because we got him against Holland, which was kind of a weird fight. Because he was supposed to fight, what was it, Diaz, and then all that drama happened, and then they rescheduled and gave him Kevin Holland instead. I don't know. It was just a weird way it played out, and that even seems like fucking forever ago. I don't remember when that fight happened, but I feel like Kevin Holland's fought like twice since then.
Kevin fights all the time,
and then
I love him for it.
Costa hasn't fought for the UFC for a minute. Like, didn't he lost his contract and then kind of got like re-signed or some shit, or took a little bit of time off. It looked like he wasn't going to be fighting, and then all of a sudden people started really fucking with Costa hard. Like, people love him.
Right? He started flying really hard. I like his Twitter. His Twitter's popping off pretty generally.
Bro, he's got one of the weirdest character arcs I've ever seen in a fighter. It just
right.
It
secret juice.
Yeah, bro.
Secret juice.
I love that, and I love it.
Me too, dude. As soon as everybody was like, he's on steroids, he's on steroids. Then he walks out with a Tropicana bottle labeled secret juice. I was like, this guy's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
bro.
This guy's a genius and one, bro. And then so are you familiar with the beef that him and Hamzat have?
A little bit.
Man, so I don't remember where, but ran into each other somewhere. Somebody was training. I think Costa was training, or Hamzat was in a cage training, and they start talking to each other. And there's like some beef. They almost get into it there. Well, I guess through the scuffle, somehow Costa got Hamzat's hat, like his ball cap.
Okay.
Then stole it. And like held on to it. And I don't remember who. I think he was maybe on Ariel Hawani's show or something like that. He's like, it's like, Chechen Chicken, what you gonna do? I took everything from you. I took your fans, I took your spot, I took your hat. And he takes Hamzat's hat and he shoves it down his pants and starts rubbing it all over his balls, dude. Like, legit, like some of the best egging on, like some of the best trolling I've seen in a minute. Like, bro, I'm not even a fighter, man, but if somebody stole my hat and did that, I don't probably want to punch him in the mouth for it. Like,
right, dude. Like, damn.
That's some disrespect, man. That's my hat.
The thing is, I'm excited for that fight because, like, I think he's gonna be quite a bit bigger than Hamzat. Maybe not.
I don't know, man. And really, I think what it comes down to is he gonna be able to stuff the takedowns of Hamzat? Because Hamzat, that's his base. He's a very strong wrestler, Dagestani wrestler at that. You know, it's really gonna come down to who can dictate where the fight goes. Because if this stays standing, I would give the edge to Costa, and even that is no guarantee because Hamzat can hit. But at the same time, we saw Dorino or Gilbert Burns hurt Hamzat,
right?
And you know, not taking anything away from Burns. Burns has got some power, but he's a welterweight. Costa is closer to a light heavyweight,
right?
There's a difference. So it's going to be interesting to see because I feel like a lot of the fighters, even the middleweight fight that we saw, or the catchweight between him and Holland, he was the bigger fighter. Holland is more of a natural, I think, in-betweener. But if he was, you know, again, didn't want to be lazy and didn't enjoy eating, you know, he would do great at welterweight. Like that's where he should be. But the fact that he kind of likes to do his thing, I let the dude fight where he wants to fight.
I know there was push at one point for a 165-pound weight class. Or
bro, really, what they need to do, starting at 145, they need to do a weight class every 10 pounds.
Right.
It should be 145, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 205, and then 265.
And I've heard Dana talk about why they don't want to get like boxing where they end up having too many belts, but it's already kind of,
bro, they're already got so many belts.
Exactly.
And if that's the logic, then why the fuck did you introduce the BMF belt? You fucking
exactly.
hypocrite.
You've got BMF belt, you've got interim belts now, and now you've got other like legitimate, in my opinion, serious promoters.
Yeah,
they have their own belts now, so it's almost like the IBF and the boxing now with the different promotions. Yep. Except for
I just think Dana likes to talk a lot, and whatever sounds the best to Dana at the time that he's saying it is what he's going to stand by.
Right.
I mean, he's gone back on his word more time than not, and then he's also not done shit that he said he would. So it's a mixed bag with Dana. I'm not even talking shit. I fucking love the dude. Don't like his politics. Don't like that part of it. But as far as what he's given us and built in the UFC, like I'm not even hating. But yeah, no, I think on that note, we covered a little bit of everything. Got a little bit of what's ahead. I plan on being here next Sunday, and not like the monster trucks, but keep your ass in the seat because I will be here on Sunday, and we gonna run back this fight night. We should have the man in charge of the action back, Mr. Trash Pandacoot, aka Andre 5000, aka Mr. Trash Panda Esquire. Like, bro, this dude's got like 1,500 nicknames. But he will be back in action, and if not, we're going to have to hunt him down because you've been slacking, boy. I'm coming for you. I picked your parlay for you. It's going to hit for you. And then what you going to say? What you going to do when we come for you, huh? Nah, on that note, hey, one, it's here with Paul tonight. This is It's Almost Time podcast. Thanks again for everybody who tuned in. As always, if you enjoyed what we do, treat them buttons like Hamza and smash the shit out of them. We need all the feedback we can get. If you know people who fuck with the fight game and like a little bit of shit talking, send them our way. We'll treat them well, and we'll give you a pat on the back for sending them. Thanks again for joining us tonight, and we'll be back next Sunday with some more fight talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.